here's what you're probably going to mess up on your first tour of your first home as a first-time home buyer. Because first and foremost, the tour starts way before you get into the property. So hopefully you did your neighborhood research to make sure it's a place that fits for you. Like next, when I tour property, the first thing I do when I get out the car is I look around and assess the neighborhood, right? Because I want to make sure it's a place that I want to, come on buddy. I want to make sure it's a place that I want to be in. So when I'm doing it first, I'm looking up and down the street. Like, you know, I'm assessing what time of day. Like right now, it's about 8 a.m. It should not be a lot of noise, a lot of traffic. It is not a lot of noise, and it's not a lot of traffic. So that's a thumbs up. No, why am I with it? First and foremost. Next, I'm assessing, hey, there are a bunch of cars on the street. Like me, I don't like a bunch of cars on the street. So that's so far, so good for me. Next, what I'm doing is I'm assessing the property itself. Let's cross over, buddy. And so what I'm looking for is just, hey, how well maintained is the property that I am actually directly looking at? Like, are they upkeeping the property? So for instance, I'm going to do a spin move. Like for me, something like that right there is just kind of like a no for me. Like I don't want to see a bunch of like dead shrubs in the yard, because like if they can't take care of like the front of the yard when they're selling the property, like what else is going on in the house? So I'm really assessing the maintenance and upkeep of one, the home I'm in, and of course the home's directly to the left or right of me. But then also, like what I do is I literally walk like up and down the street, and also would look at an adjacent street, you know, time permitting. So maybe I get to like the home tour like 15 minutes early so I can do all this stuff. So that's something you may want to consider if it's a place that you really like. Like the next thing I'm looking at is, okay, I'm looking around the neighborhood. So like how many homes right now are for sale? Because a sign of like a bunch of homes for sale could be a sign that like the people in the neighborhood know something that you don't know, whether it's maybe it gets a little bit too rowdy at a certain hour. Maybe there's a bunch of traffic that comes through this neighborhood at a certain hour. Maybe there's some new construction going on that people are trying to sell before it really hits the news, and you can really see it as somebody that's not super familiar with the neighborhood. So like maybe there's like a big road closure coming up so they can do some upgrades to the highway. Maybe there's like a new a factory or something that's going on that's coming soon that they don't want to have to deal with, and they, you know, bring down the value of the neighborhood. And then so like this is another thing I like to see as well, especially if there's supposedly an HOA. So like there's people like doing, you can see it back there, you may probably hear it, but there's people like doing maintenance and actually cutting the grass. So let me, let's get past this guy real quick. All right, there was a bunch of stuff going on, but you can see there are people behind me, like the HOA, actually doing maintenance on the property, making the bushes and things look good. So if you are paying for an HOA, you want to make sure there's actually stuff like that going on. You're not just throwing money into a bottomless pit. Like there's the crew right there out doing work. So I'm winded. I can't walk and talk, man. I got to get my cadence down. So the next thing we'll do is like, let's look at the amenities of the HOA. Like what else are you paying for? So it's just coincidental. There's a guy maintaining the pool right back here. So me, I like to go on walks. I got a pupster right there if you've not seen me walking. So what I'm looking at is like, you know, are there places to walk and enjoy myself with the dog? You know, outside of just the basic sidewalk. I mean, the sidewalk is cool for you, but you know, like the dogs like to walk around on non-sidewalk events. So like here, there's like a nice green area. Very important in Texas because one, it gets hot, and you know, Texas is all about just, you know, knocking down trees and building you know, cookie cutter homes. So like some place you can go to kind of enjoy yourself. And then also too, I'm looking at stuff always from the perspective of a renter. Like what's some things that stand out about the neighborhood? So if I do go to sell my property, what's something someone else may like? So we have kind of the wooded area back there, and we'll walk there in a second, but you know, back there is kind of a little lake and a fishing area. So that's kind of like a cool area. Even if you don't fish, other people like to fish, right? So they may be looking just like you online at a bunch of houses in maybe 3 zip codes between 350 and 425, but it's okay. I only got a certain amount of time in the day. So what's going to stand out with these properties to make it me take myself over there and go check out the neighborhood? It's like, oh, they got a lake over there. Let's check out the neighborhood. Let's check out the lake. So like to me, like the amenities and unique items around the property are very, very important for me. But let's jump back to the coming soon items in the neighborhood. So like, how do you figure out what is and isn't coming soon? So one, your realtor hopefully is informed, but never assume anybody knows everything, because your realtor just can't know everything about every neighborhood. So what you want to do is go on like the local city websites, like whatever city .gov. Because here's the thing, when stuff's coming to town, you may not like it, folks may not like it, but the cities are going to advertise stuff they're bringing to the area because it may be tax revenue, like road improvements. All that stuff will most likely be on that website. And so you want to look at like the local city website and maybe like the county website. If it's something like a road or a highway, there most likely be updates on the county website with what's going on or maybe coming soon to the area. And so like back there is the aforementioned lake. There's even like a pier. Why I didn't go all the way back there to show you, it remains unclear, but let's keep walking through the area. And so another thing I want to check out is like for me, I'm kind of like I try to be outdoorsy as possible. You know, unless you live in like the wilderness, you're not going to have like a huge like a hiking area. But I wanted to check out like the green area and green space. A lot of times you'll see on like websites for if it's a master plan community, like I'm in right now, and they'll be like, oh, we got 19 acres of green space, but is it a bunch of like squared off areas that you can't really enjoy, or is there an actual place to like play and gather? You know, one thing about community is a community is the word community. You're going to make sure that there's things that you can do and places that like bring people together. So like right here is like a huge open like green space. So there's a lot of events going on. So let's talk about, hey, we got events coming to the neighborhood. Like where in the world are they? Okay, this is probably an area that like events would happen. And so that's kind of stuff for you. There's like places back there. We'll walk there for like adults. So I guess people of any age to hang out. Next I want to see is like, hey, okay, maybe I have kids. So like what's going on with like stuff for them to do in the neighborhood? You know, what's that thing, idle minds or something like that? There's something bad, you know what I'm trying to say. You can fill in the blanks on that one. And so there's like a nice play area right there. It's currently like shut down. There's some construction stuff on there. So one thing I'm gonna ask is, okay, like how long has that been shut down? Does it look relatively maintained? Why is it shut down? So right now it's like the springtime, and so maybe they're getting stuff ready for the spring or potentially making improvements to the area. But I want to find out what's going on, because if that's been up there for like 6 months, we got a problem for a couple reasons. One, there's a play area that can't be used, and then two, like maybe there's some like financial issues with the HOA on why they can't just get this this thing squared away. So that's a question I would have for my realtor to fill in the blanks. I'm a realtor in Dallas and would love to help you reach your goals of home ownership. So click the link in the description and just schedule a call no matter where you are on your journey. Not in Dallas, no worries, I can help connect you with a vetted realtor in your local jurisdiction as well. And feel free to share with friends, family, and foes. Everyone gets love. I'm real big on actually checking out and verifying stuff. So there's like community centers, there's places where people can allegedly hang out. I want to go in there like, hey, you can actually maybe explore or go in there. And a lot of times they'll have like events on the calendar in these areas, so you can actually check out what they say is going on, because they can talk about this great HOA and events, but you know, where they at though? There's a famous news reporter once said, imitating T.I., so I guess T.I. famously said it first, but that's all stuff that I am verifying. So once again, we still got maintenance going on, so you probably can hear the lawnmower. Come on, big butt. And so I'm walking around, like what's going on with the school systems? Like a lot of times, like these master plan communities, they'll have schools in the community, because once again, I keep saying community, but that's how you keep folks like in the area, because, oh, you know, Jimmy goes to school and he's friends with Zach, you know, Rashid and Wallace. And so he wants to stay in the school system. You don't want to take your kids out of the school system. It's close, it's easy to get to. And so like, you know, right back there's a school. Like what's the closest school? And also you as a parent, hey, but let's cross over real quick. So you as a parent, like how are you getting the kid to school? So, you know, they have, I guess, the school bus and things of that nature, but, you know, sometimes you may want to, you know, drive the kid to school. It may be easier for you. But yeah, just like the proximity to schools. And then if there is a actual school in your neighborhood, is it good or bad? Because that may be the public school that your kid is assigned to go to. And so if it sucks, or if it's not up to whatever your standards are, you know, that's potentially like an extra bill that you're paying, because now you got to pay, you know, tuition for your kid to go to somewhere else. And I think you may have to get, I guess maybe that point you actually do have to drive your kid to school. I don't know how the private school thing works, but let's keep going. Another thing I want to check out is like green space. So this area back here looks like a nice like green space. I kind of spoiled it already, but and that's what it was when I first moved into this neighborhood. But think about this, you paid $350,000 for your, you know, maybe 60-foot lot. Of course like the builder is going to build stuff on the land. They're not just leaving open space because it looks cool for you, unless it's designated like a green area, like we spoke before. So like, you know, back there's an apartment complex. Some people are like scared of apartments and having apartments in the neighborhood. They think apartment folks are bad people, even though ironically they probably came from an apartment themselves, or they were born with like a silver spoon and never lived in an apartment at any point in their life. But you want to be aware of like what huge open green areas are becoming. And so you can ask the folks in the community like what may be coming soon over there. And also, once again, do your own research. So, you know, in these open areas, they're like for sale, and they're like selling, and they have to like sell the land to maybe an apartment complex, maybe like a restaurant or something like that. So you want to check out and see like how the property is designated. Hey, big ball, let's keep it moving. All right, and so a lot of times there'll be like a sign or something in the ground that says, hey, you know, Jim Smith real estate or something like that. And so you can go to like Jim Smith's real estate's website, and they'll potentially say like what tenants are coming soon to the area. So that's how I figured out what was going on in the neighborhood that I was moving into. And also, hey, sometimes you get hungry, like how close is the closest restaurant? So like in this neighborhood, there's stuff to walk to, fortunately for me, like well, maybe unfortunately, because my wife goes to Starbucks like every day now, because there's a Starbucks around the corner. But you can kind of look and see what the commercial space is turning into, as far as like, are there restaurants coming, are there things you like, are there things you don't like? So you want to check this stuff out as well. And also, like I look for trash, like what's going on the ground, like is the community like upkeeping the community? Because it's one thing, as I pointed out, to have like maintenance guys going around and they'll upkeep the neighborhood. They'll pick up trash and things of that nature, but they come around once a week. Like the maintenance people cannot totally maintain the aura of the neighborhood. So you want to make sure you have people that like care about the neighborhood. Whether it's not putting their own crap on the ground, that's like step one, or potentially like picking up some other stuff that is like on by the wayside. So for instance, there's like some dingleberry, like maybe they lost a pillow. I don't know how a pillow gets outside, but honestly, it's wet over there. I'm not gonna pick up somebody's pillow. I may pick up like a smaller thing or something like that, but like I want to see how long that pillow is going to be out in the street. And then so whether you like the police or not, like there's a police car driving by. So like how often are like is there like some sort of maintenance or some sort of watch in the area? There's a family to my left or right, like on the bikes. It's kind of a cool thing to see that like folks getting active in the community. But yeah, those are some things I personally check out when I'm exploring a neighborhood. Let me know what you think down below. But as always, buy land, rumor has it, not making any more of it.